Hello everybody, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going through some strange goings on at the moment, and it's nothing to do with mental health. It's actually being written down and catalogued. It's just uncanny what's going on. It's like, well, either someone can read my mind or they're listening to what I'm saying. Put it that way. Alexa, what's the time, please? Have we got you plugged in? No, my Alexa's not plugged in. That's no good, is it? Let's plug Alexa in and we'll do that bit later. So basically, let's run through the day and go through what's been going on. So I got up this morning. I've been having neighbour harassment and noise nuisance trouble. It's been going on and off for about 4 or 5 years. It's taken its toll on me. I've lost weight. I felt ill this morning. I've come down with a cold. I had an phone appointment booked with my doctor's surgery, Maritime Health. My mother's doctor's surgery is called the Matrix, which is a word for the firm. The firm. So my mother's doctor's is the Matrix up in Chatham. Mine is Maritime Health. That was my next door neighbour's dog squealing, and it started Max off. He's just gone to run to the door, and I'm just being honest. Right? Just being honest. I'm not in danger from the dog. It's on a lead. It's just a nuisance. That's the truth. So, where was I? Yeah. So I got up because I was woken up at 6:35 in the morning, and when you're older, that's a pain in the bum. Getting woken up in the morning by kids jumping off the bed, running across the floor really loudly. There's 3 or 4 of them up there, not just one. I don't know whether it's a 2-bedroom flat, 3-bedroom flat, 1-bedroom flat, but there's 4 kids up there of various ages living up there, and they're running up and down and being quite boisterous, as one neighbour put it. Aren't your kids boisterous? So it has been noticed by other people, but they're choosing to ignore it, where I'm trying to stop it. So basically, I started to do a YouTube video, and it started to get quite noisy outside, and that was hard for me to do the video. It was hard for me to do the video with the distractions going on outside, but I managed to finish the video and carry on with it. It's all this harassment is making my videos not the way I want them to be. I can't sit down in a room and just be left alone and just get on with it. See that dog bark next door? It's always like this. So it's making my videos, in my opinion, of lesser quality than they could be, because I'm getting distracted and everything else. So I did the video, and then I went outside. And by the way, the pest control people have come into the building. Pest control, because there's mice in the bin store. So they've come into the building and put pest control boxes outside because there's mice running about. Because people are leaving food on the floor in the bin store. So pest control rang my buzzer just now, and I let them in. So there's mice. So I went out, threw some rubbish in the bin. The cleaners hadn't swept the mess up, they'd left it there, and I was unable to get out of the bin store without removing residents' rubbish. Without removing their rubbish from where I couldn't get out. I couldn't press the button to get out of the door without moving their crap. Which is a health hazard and a fire hazard, of course it is. So I went onto the field and I took Max out, not on the field. I just went for a walk, didn't I? I was bucketing down with rain this morning. I just went around the block. I've noted all the incidents in the diary of how I was intimidated and what went on. I've got to put loads more. Where have we got up to so far? We got up to the bin men coming this morning, 11:41. So I've got to write from 11:41 onwards. So the doctor was on the phone for a long time, or the nurse or whatever she was. She was on the phone for ages trying to help me with various bits and pieces, and some of it's working and some of it isn't. And I'm still in this flat, by the way, putting up with the same behaviour. I came home from my walk. There was a lady in the corridor with an autistic child, and she had her hands over the child, and the child was screeching as I was coming in through the communal area. This child was screeching, and the woman was stood with her back turned to me, like holding the child down, and the child was screaming because of Max. And as I pressed the lift button to get into the lift, the woman said, "Don't worry, it's only a small doggy." It's only a small doggy. Her child was screaming, screeching, and I got into the lift and she said, "Oh, don't worry, it's only a small doggy." I got into the lift, me, Crystal, on my own, went up to the first floor, got into my flat. That had disturbed me. Obviously, when a child's screaming at you and the parent is stood over the child with the hands over the child, for me, that was disturbing to see. It was disturbing. I came into my flat, so I felt terrible. Not scared, but like, what the fuck? He returned later, upstairs, parked his car outside my flat and started taking items from his car and going into the flat, and I was on the phone to the doctor. Or the nurse. I was on the phone to the nurse or doctor talking about the harassment upstairs, and he, at the same time while I'm on the phone, parks his car outside my bedroom window and gets out of the car with shopping. Goes into the flat. Because I take calls on the balcony, guys, because I feel like I can't breathe, I need fresh air. Sometimes I take calls on the balcony, and there his car, while I was on the phone to the female clinician, he parked his car and got out with shopping. And then he went upstairs and the kids started running up and down whilst I was on the phone, which is uncanny and odd and too much of a coincidence, in my opinion. So later on, I tinted my roots. I've covered up my roots with brown hair dye. I've tinted my roots. So I got in the shower, had a shower, did my hair, touched my hair up with dye. And I cooked myself a pizza, a microwave pizza that I bought yesterday, so I've eaten. And it calmed down and it was quiet because there was one child up there, but he's got 3 or 4, and he's now gone out to pick up the other children, and we'll see if anything changes tonight. Because my mum thinks, that I'm just going to forget this and carry on. No, it's gone too far. She said, "Oh, are you happy now?" I went, "No, I'm not. I'm not happy at all." So we'll take it further. We'll take it even further. We keep pressurising these people to get me out of this flat. I don't really want to leave, but there you go. I don't, the sight, because of what I've been through, every time I see his car, every time I see him or one of his children, it makes me feel terrible. It upsets me. I don't like it. Right? So I noticed what he was wearing this morning, because he came back while I was on my balcony taking a phone call, and he had a white t-shirt on. I've got this on, New York sweatshirt. So I was often on my phone talking to people, my mother included, and later on the buzzer rang. It was a man with my HelloFresh box, mine. I'm Crystal. And it was a man with dark hair, and I saw him. I don't know what he did with my box, but he picked it up to show me, and then he put it down on the floor and did something with it. I don't know what he did with it, whether he kicked it into the building, because I didn't see. But my box was damaged and it was leaking. Right? So I went downstairs and I picked the box up. There was a cleaner in the building, so there's no excuse for the rubbish not to be picked up in the bin store, is there? There was a cleaner in the building. I went round the back, threw my rubbish out, and picked up my HelloFresh box, and it was gushing out with water. It was absolutely gushing out with water. There was water gushing out of my box. And I went in the lift with it, because it was heavy, brought it up to my flat, and I opened the box to see what was causing the water leakage, and the ice had melted. So how long had that been in the back of his van? If the packets of ice were almost like defrosted, it must have been in there for ages. So I then did a YouTube video to show people what had happened, and it's also a record of it. I then rang HelloFresh up, because the GPT app is wonderful. If you ask it anything. You ask, what's the number of the local pizzeria, whatever, local takeaway shop. It brings everything up. It's got so much knowledge. So I asked the GPTS application, can you give me the number for HelloFresh? And it gave me the number for HelloFresh, rang the number, and got straight through to this Chinese woman. And she, from my phone number, she got all my details up, and then she explained what she was going to do. So I've got a refund. I've got a refund. That's next door's dog going off. That's next door's dog going off on the balcony, by the way. I hope that's come up on the video. And that's somebody reacting to it. That's not me reacting to it, is it? Because I'm sat in my flat, someone was reacting to the dog barking. It wasn't me. I don't bother now, I just tape it. Well, if my phone's on tape recorder, it brings it up. So next door's dog is barking. So all these noise nuisances they're escalating. Every time I speak about them, it escalates. They do it even more. And that's what's happening. So where was I? Yeah, I took photographs of the HelloFresh box. She's going to get my money refunded. And did that. And I went out. I went out on my own with Max about 2:15, which is there's a recording of. And I was dressed like this. And when I went out, it was quiet, no trouble at all. Went on to the field. There was people coming off, about 4 elderly people coming off the field, and apart from that, it was peaceful. Nobody on there at all. They're coming in now upstairs. They're coming in. So the dog's barking has coincided with upstairs coming in with his kids, but it's not him that's got barked at. So the barking has started, and he's just coming the door's shut, so we'll see what happens next. So we are doing this video, and the harassment will start. It will start because I know it will. Right, so I've got noise going on outside, dog barking and noise above my head. So let's carry on doing this video because I'm not going to stop. I believe this is done to stop me doing my videos, but I'm still going to do them, whatever goes on. I've kept in touch with my mother. I told her what's going on. So pest control's been in because there's mice in the bin store. Yeah, so it was quiet on the field, and then I noticed the guy upstairs' car. As I was returning home, his car just happened to go past me whilst I was coming off the field. And then I start to get trouble. There's cars parked in the middle of the road. There was a gentleman on a motorbike with a helmet on his head eating in front of me, and there was a Chinese guy with pizza leaflets that turned his back on me. He had a white t-shirt like he was wearing upstairs, but he was thinner and skinnier and smaller, and he dropped takeaway leaflets in front of me on the doormat because I left a note on the guy's doormat. I know what this is. I left a note on his doormat about 3 years ago explaining that the noise was affecting me. So this Chinese guy leaves pizza leaflets on the doormat of the building, which is rather pathetic, really, isn't it? It's pathetic. So that's why they did that. I didn't pick the pizza leaflets up because I don't want one. I don't need one and I don't want one. And I walked home into my building, opened the door, came in, and the buzzer went, and there was a man with glasses, spectacles, and he said to me, "It's pest control." And then I let him in. Then he rang the middle buzzer, and he said, "Can you let me in?" Pressed him in. He wanted to get into the communal area. I believe that the place has, by what I'm recording, has got listening devices. Definitely. Because I was talking about my neighbour's harassment, and what I mentioned over the phone to this woman, his car passed by me after I was coming off the field. So I said to the woman over the phone, "This is giving me chest pain." I said, "It's not chest pain in the heart. It's making my indigestion worse." So I said to her over the phone that this is all making my indigestion worse. It's giving me chest pain. Next thing I know, the neighbour to the right of me this way comes out of the door after I've just said that over the phone to the woman on the phone, and she slams the door so hard my bedroom wall is shaking. So they're listening to what I'm saying, and this makes sense as to how they know where you're going before you get there. They know where you're going before they get there because they're listening into what you're saying on the phone, through the internet and whatever. I can prove it. I can absolutely prove it. That is why I'm getting no help, because they can hear what you're saying. So I'm going to write the rest of this up in my journal. My mum offered me to go up there. She offered me to go up there. She said she was going to let me know when I can go up and see my mum, Jennifer.